Staples to get a digital camera. I thought it was gonna be easy. Thought the guy was gonna help me. The guy asked me one question. One question which did not help at all. He goes, well, what are you gonna use it for? I'm like, casual pictures, dude. I'm at Staples. Do any serious photographers shop at Staples? What, does anybody roll in there? Yeah, I work for National Geographic. I want to check out the Kodak Easy Share. Yeah. Yep, going on safari. Just getting ready. Yep. Yeah, the hot pink one. Yeah, that looks professional. Yeah, I work for Sports Illustrated. I'm looking for a camera this big. Yeah, I want a camera to fit in my ear. I'm doing a $10,000 Vanity Fair shoot, looking for a camera about 78 bucks. I don't want to spare any expenses. It's a big deal.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to... what's the name of the show again?
Technical Tuesday.
Technical Tuesday. Technical Tuesday.
Yeah.
With me and Linda, CleverDarkElve. Welcome to the show. Yes, hey. Big round of applause for you. So, Linda, very quickly, people are curious. What is this show about?
Well, it's Technical Tuesday. It's about technical stuff and it's about non-technical stuff. It's about things that are photography related, things you might have questions about, and we'll just kind of go from there.
Okay, that's cool. I've got many questions about camera stuff, but before we go there, I've got something I would like to share with you and with everyone. Some cool news I just got. Do
I need to be concerned?
A concern? No, you need to be proud. Proud of me.
Okay, and proud I shall be.
Okay, if you remember this ship right here, this is the LST-325.
Yeah.
Yes, it is a museum ship. It's the last LST-325 that was in existence, and it's still seaworthy. It's a traveling museum. And that picture in particular is going to be painted by an artist called David Anderson. He emailed me and he wanted to ask me permission to use that drone image to paint. He says, my series, The Rivers, a celebration of life and work on America's waterways, now on exhibition in L.A. Oh, The Adventures of Fat Man and Blobbin. I do believe that's our friend from Florida. Ken rocks, $2. Thank you. That's his Daniel's alter ego. Thank you, Daniel, very much. Yeah, Super Chat is open, as you can plainly see. So this guy who's an artist, he's doing an exhibition in L.A. His painting's going to be at the Evansville Museum beginning next May 6th, and he wanted to paint one of the 325 stills, and he asked me permission. And let me just go. Isn't that cool? I'm going to show you his. Let me see if I can pull this up on the old interwebs. This is what his work looks like. That's not what it looks like. It looks like this right here. This is his stuff.
Oh, neat.
Yeah. So he's going to take that still and do a painting of it. This is davidanderson.com if you're interested. And I'm very honored to be able to have anything to do with keeping the LST-325 going. And a little pat on my own back. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Ken for Ken.
Yeah.
Nice work.
All right. So this is a photography show. Most of the knowledge will be coming from the Linda, because the Ken, I just fly by the seat of my pants, quite literally sometimes. So,
yeah.
Yes, I know we're very small.
Just as long as people know that, there are many ways to do many different things. So I'm not necessarily a foremost expert. I can only go by what I've learned over the years, and I love to share it. I'm truly passionate about helping people learn how to do photography or videography if that's what they want to do. So.
Yes, Linda is a professional photographer. She's got a calendar coming out soon. Isn't that right?
That is right. Thanks for throwing me under the bus with that.
Oh, I didn't mean to throw you in. I was just telling everybody about your cool calendar. It's gonna be birds, right?
It is not going to be birds, no.
No? Is it going to be sexy firemen? Not sexy firemen. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got my hose and my ladder and my hat. You need me for March, I'm there.
It's going to be a calendar about sunsets.
Ooh, cool. All right.
So.
So do we have any questions from people? Have you seen any questions?
Well, before we answer any questions, I'm kind of curious just to talk about like what your background is in photography and what drew you to doing photography.
Well, I started in high school. I mean, when I was a kid, I was always interested in photography. Of course, when I was a kid, when you took a picture, you had to wait a week to get it back. You know, it was all filmed.
Yeah.
Way back in the olden times, you had to wait forever to get the picture back. And I think there's something to that. You were certainly more careful with what you were taking a picture of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But I did take a class in high school. We had a dark room and everything. In fact, I brought some pictures that I took in high school.
Did you now?
Yeah, if you want to see. All right. These aren't from my class.
You're going to have to make your picture big so people can really get it.
I will.
Oh, okay.
Let me just go. This is... I actually have my camera from back then. I brought it with me. Do you recognize... Let me make me big. Do you recognize this?
I recognize it as a camera.
It's the Pentax K1000.
Yeah, that's your camera.
Yeah, this is the actual camera I had back in my high school class. I love this camera. It's got the disease. You know that disease that that glass gets, the glass disease.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I can't really use it anymore.
Is it eating through all the coatings on there?
Yeah, it's doing all that bad stuff.
The fungus that grows in there.
Yeah, but I have some pictures of me.
You should make sure you keep that away from your other gear because it will spread.
Oh, is it contagious?
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. All right, now I'm going to overshare here.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to overshare, and I'll show you. You know, I wasn't... Of course, I think I look the same, but I wasn't always this kind of gorgeous. I was a younger kind of gorgeous back in the day. This is me.
So
look
funny.
at those 80s glasses. They might even be
nice.
70s.
Looks like you're
glasses.
wearing a ringer shirt and everything.
Yeah, I look the same. Look, see? Same,
Yeah,
look.
totally the same.
Same exact ravages of time. Yes. I look the same, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to share something else. And this is just for the ladies. Let me go ahead and put on some cool music. Because, ladies, you're going to want to see, and you'll never be able to forget.
Me too.
What's that, Linda?
So maybe the guys want to see too. Maybe
Oh,
it's
sure.
Not just
Hey,
ladies.
hey, there's nothing wrong with that. But I'll tell you, you will never be able to get this out of your mind, ladies. Prepare
Look away
yourself for me with abs. Pow. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this just happened. Mm-hmm. That's right. Linda, thoughts?
I don't even know what to say. Like I need some eye drops.
Hold on. I got an appropriate sound effect. Here we go. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I got my start. And then you want to know how I got my stop? Because I'm sure that I would have been a photographer. I'm absolutely sure that I would have been. When I was in college, I had my camera stolen. Somebody stole my camera. And I couldn't find this one. It was gone. I had another Pentax K1000. Someone stole it. Yep.
Rude.
In that route, how did you get your start, Linda? Please expound.
In photography?
Yeah.
Actually, for a long time, I refused to do any kind of photography whatsoever. I started drawing and painting, and that's what I thought I was going to be doing with my life is drawing and painting. But in 2002, somebody gave me like a little camcorder that could also take pictures.
Mm-hmm.
So I started taking pictures then. And then I was like, hey, this is kind of cool because at first I was using them kind of as references for drawing.
Right.
But yeah, so and then in 2005 or so, a neighbor had a film camera that they lent me for a day. It was this Nikon film camera. I mean, it was a Canon, I think. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Anyways, I shot a roll of film on it and I was like hooked. So I never Never put it down after that. Got my first digital camera later that year in 2005, and then just started doing it full time until I started sort of doing it for a business a few years later.
Did you have one of those digital cameras when they first came out? They were like 1 megapixel and they used the floppy disk.
Yeah, that's what that camcorder thing was. Yeah.
Okay, I think I still have a floppy disk somewhere. But yeah, it was this big. It was huge. And when you took the picture, it went. It was pretty bad.
Excellent reenactment.
Thank you. Drone Wolf Media says, "Hi, Linda. Love your channel. You take and produce some absolutely amazing footage."
That's very kind of them to say.
We have some footage if you want to share, unless we have some questions for Linda the expert.
Well, I'm not an expert, please, but I did notice some people wanted to know if this was going to be more than just about photography, if it's also going to be about videography, and I'd say it's going to be about both things, because really a lot of it applies to both. Mm-hmm. So crossover. So it's going to be about both.
Okay. So what would you like to share with people?
Nothing. What I did is I sent a few folders over to Ken with some of my pictures from back from like the early 2005, 6, 7, somewhere in there, and then from how my pictures look now, and you should be able to see that my photography sucked back then, and it's gotten somewhat better now. So I just wanted to maybe share some of that with the viewers, because I don't want people to be discouraged, you know, because I've been doing this a while, and if you haven't been doing it for very long, it's very easy to get discouraged and to get all flustered about apertures and who knows what. So
right. Okay. So
pick something. I mean.
All right. I'm going to go in pets.
Do it.
Pets. All right.
It's going to be painful.
Why? I think they all look great. Here's that's a pet.
That was probably one of my first pet portraits.
Who is that? That looks like a cute little muffin.
Yeah, that dog's name was Toby.
Aw.
I didn't really know what I was doing. I just knew that I wanted to take pictures of him, so I just started shooting. And this is literally one of the first pictures that I took. It's really only 1 megapixel, if that. So
is that what's wrong with it? Is just the camera?
No, there's so many things.
Like what? Like what? I'm not getting it.
Well, you know, like the background leaves a lot to be desired. The lighting is extremely bad. It's just no.
I don't think
not a very good picture. It's fine if you wanted to just take a picture of your dog and like, oh, I have a cute picture of my dog, but it could use a little work.
Because a lot of people are probably looking at that and going, "That's a good picture." All right, let's go to the next one here, if I can. How do I? Oh Lord.
Did you break it?
I think I broke it.
Oh, brother.
I'll fix it. No worries.
Okay, fix it.
Fixing now. There we go. Who's that? Oh, that's Gizmo.
Yeah, that's actually my dog. So this is a few years later. This is in 2006 or 7, I think, that I took this picture. And the pictures that I'm including here were pictures that at the time I was like, this is great. I made it. Yeah. But looking back a few years later, they're pretty cringeworthy. But yeah, so this was another attempt.
That's a good one.
This was actually only about 1.5 years after the last picture, because I really started focusing a lot on trying to improve my photography. And so this picture was taken in like late 2008, I believe. And this picture was actually picked up by National Geographic. They published it on their website. Really? They did.
And yet you can still see things that are wrong with it.
I can see so many wrong things. But I do still kind of like the picture.
Okay, well, I kind of too. Oh, look at that little muffin with the nose.
I know. He kind of reminds me of your Henry in a way.
Yeah, that's a great picture. Did you pose him for that?
No, actually, it was just a dog that I met on a walk. His name was Jake, and I just asked his owner, hey, I really like your dog. Can I take a few pictures of him? I'll send you one. And they said, yeah, please. So I took a few pictures. And
that's a great name for a dog, Jake, by the way.
Yeah, he was a cute guy.
Now this,
but you can see that it's gotten a little bit better. So
this is Gizmo again.
Yeah. I mean, some of the pictures I can't really share because some of the client work, you know, I don't have the privilege to share their pictures.
Right, right. But it's okay with Gizmo that we're showing these pictures of him.
This was in the fall of 2015, so just about 2 years ago I took that photo.
Oh, look at that little fella.
And then this was last year for fall. This was his fall photo last year. So.
How many pictures must you have of Gizmo?
Oh, so many. Let's not. I'm a crazy dog lady.
Yeah. Oh, that was great. I love Gizmo and your pictures. Your pictures were awesome. Tim says
there's a lot of difference between the beginning and like 10 years later. So.
Yeah. Jerry Frost wants to know what was going through your mind during Ken's drone in the sandstorm.
I mean, can I curse on this show?
Hold on. I got plenty of these. Son of a you mother.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
The f***ing storm, the f***ing storm, the f***ing storm.
Yeah, you know, that storm popped up because I was actually filming a storm that was a solid 10 miles away, minimum. And then all of a sudden, a microburst just opened up over me, and it just blew everything away. Not just the drone, but my camera. You know, some of you probably know that, but golly, it was so much, so quick. And then the drone just flew away, and I'm like, well, I'll never see it again.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm trying to share it with everybody here. Let me try to bring this up. If I can click that button and then go over to here and then do that right there. Is this is the video, right? Where it was destroyed?
Yeah, that's the video. Yeah. It's in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm gonna put that back. There we go. If you're not subscribed to Linda's channel, you should. You should check it out. She does fantastic time lapses, and she lives in Arizona, so there's plenty of sand and lightning and rain and rocks. If you're a rock fan, you're gonna like Linda's channel. There's plenty of rocks.
Oh, yeah.
Your channel rocks. There we go. Oh man. Yeah, that drone survived, and I sold it recently.
Yeah, well, I cleaned it out real well.
Yeah, that's good. And then you busted your camera. See if we can find that. Oh yeah.
Yeah, R.I.P. I broke the case on it. It's split open here. It's also split open in the front, and the mirror assembly on it is completely broken. So, well, I've always been told if you're gonna do something, do it right, and I think I did this right. So, R.I.P. little camera.
I like that face right there.
Yeah, I can make that face on command. That's like if I want some cheesecake and somebody's holding some and I can't have any. That's the face I make.
Are we missing any pictures? I mean any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, I think there's a few interesting questions.
All right. Go ahead and answer them if you can, if you remember what they were.
Somebody was asking earlier, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember the name because I can't scroll back through the chat fast enough, but somebody wanted to know about shooting in different picture profiles. And I think what they're referring to is trying to shoot your video or your photography relatively flat so that it's easier to work with the information in post-processing. And they were asking if there was some truth to that or whatever, however they phrased it. And the answer is, yeah, you want to try to shoot it relatively flat. You want to try to get most of the information onto the histogram if you ever look at those on the back of your camera. So the more latitude that you have there, the more that you can pull out of the images in post-processing. So the answer is yes, shoot flat. And then the profile that I generally shoot in, like on the Phantom 4, I shoot in D-Log or Cinelike. It kind of depends on what I'm shooting. It's kind of not the best color profiles per se. Like the quality of the video is not that great, but I still try to shoot it as flat as I can. So I'd recommend shooting it in D-Log. But that is only if you have any interest in working with that footage afterward. If you just want to shoot it in auto mode and you're happy with that, then by all means shoot it in auto mode. You know.
Isn't auto the devil? Aren't you? You don't like auto.
No, I don't like auto because I feel that it makes too many creative decisions for me, and I'm ready to make those decisions for myself. I don't want to let some dumb machine make the choices for me.
Right. Okay, I got you. By the way, just a little off topic. Phantom Panic asks, Ken, where did buh and buy originate from? Do you know? Linda? Because
Do I know?
I didn't invent it.
No, but you said that back in the day when I first met you, so I'm not sure where you got it from, honestly.
I borrowed it from, it's an homage from Saturday Night Live. There's a skit where people are coming onto an airplane or leaving an airplane, and the stewardesses are going bye-bye, 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 buh. And I guess I did invent it. I said I invented buh and bye, so that's mine. So I'm not entirely being a thief on that. I'm gonna step out into the hall.
Somebody's asking what camera I use, and I use the same camera that Ken now has. The D7500 are the yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I use. I just have different lenses than Ken does, and then we both obviously have Phantoms. Although Ken has a Phantom 4 Pro, I just shoot with the Phantom.
Let me give this its proper due.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Oh yeah. There we go. Yeah. All right. I love this camera. This is a great camera. One of my favorite things about it is that it the thing does that thing, the view thing.
Yeah.
It does one of these numbers. That's cool.
That changed my life.
It did.
It really did. You know, I haven't had that camera too long yet because the other one that I had, I just ruined in that storm. So that was only a couple months ago.
True.
But I've already cranked about 30,000 images out of that camera since July. So.
Oh wow.
It's busy.
Cool. And does it do time lapses better than your old broken camera?
Yes.
It does.
Yes.
Well, good.
I mean, the quality of, you know, the time lapse, once I have to stitch it together, that's all me in post processing. But the quality of the individual images that I can shoot on that camera are much higher, and its ability to shoot low light photography, like the night sky at night, the stars and stuff like that, is vastly improved over my old camera. So I can now much more easily shoot the Milky Way and things like that.
Very good. And I wanted to let everybody know, yes, there is a giveaway tonight. I'm giving away this mini camera.
Yes.
Linda will tell you how to win that a little bit later on. This thing's really cool. It does night vision on it. It's got the night vision thing on it. It's tiny. I'll take it out of here and show it to you. You can clip it to your lapel. And while I'm doing this, maybe Linda, you can answer Craig Wilson's question about ND filters. His
I'm
question
not exactly
was
sure what the specific question regarding ND filters is.
The question was pretty much why.
Well, you know, you can dial in all the settings and stuff on your camera, but at some point you're going to reach like a limit. Like if you're shooting in bright daylight and you move up your shutter speed and you're already shooting at 1/8,000th of a second, which is a really, really fast picture, and you're still getting too much light in there and you can't really change anything else, and you can screw an ND filter on there and it's like sunglasses for your camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it will bring the brightness down considerably. So depending on what you want to do, it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're shooting something in bright daylight. Maybe you want to shoot pictures of waterfalls and you want the waterfalls to look very smooth, then you can use things like ND filters to help you achieve that. Because
it changes the shutter, doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't necessarily have to change anything. It's just a pair of sunglasses. It just makes it harder for the camera to see out, so it would take longer to gather the amount of light that you would if it wasn't on there.
Gotcha. And by the way, here's the camera we're giving away tonight. It's just a cutie. It's just a little cutie.
Cool.
Yeah, and it uses regular. Oh no, it doesn't. You can charge it, but it does have a SD card slot like that. And it's just a cool little camera. So we'll give that away a little bit later on. And
yeah.
Awesome. So I don't know how long this show is going to be. We're going to do this about what do we say? Once a month or something, or whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, once a month or whenever we feel like it, unless we get some kind of crazy sponsorship so that we can actually quit all of our day jobs just to be here on the live stream all day long. Yes.
By the way, Super Chat is wide freaking open.
So I'm kind of curious to know, actually, from the people that are in the chat, if anybody is like kind of new in photography, or where you're at, or what you really want to learn about, if anything, because I would love to help, but it'd be great to know where you're sort of at.
Okay. Craig says, what did you have before Linda? Or maybe that question's for me. Maybe it's, what did you have before Linda? Well, before Linda, I had Sarah. Before Sarah, I had a... No.
Oh my goodness.
That would imply that Linda's my girlfriend, which she is not.
I am in fact not.
No. You're not, are you?
He's huh?
You're not, are you?
No,
Okay,
I don't think so. This is turning out to be rather awkward and very unphotography related. I think what he's trying to ask about is what camera I had before the D7500. And the answer is I had two D7000s that have both since crapped the bed. They were great little cameras, and I don't want people to be discouraged. Like, it doesn't really matter if you don't have the biggest, best, whatever camera. It just really just depends on the level that, you know, where you're at. Like, if you're not really breaking through the limits of the camera that you have, then you really don't need another camera. I only buy new gear when I can solve a problem with it. Everybody's got what I call gas.
Hold on. I need a sound effect. You can't just say that without me having a sound effect.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat yourself?
Everybody's got gas.
Yeah. Hey, never let it be said that this isn't a classy show. Yeah, right? Right, Linda? This is a class act right here. You know, you're not going to find this kind of show anywhere else. Yeah, there we go.
I just remembered that I left my stove on. Gotta go.
Linda does not like that.
Well, but anyway, gear acquisition syndrome is something that everybody suffers from because everybody wants the newest things, and I am no stranger to wanting all the things. I want all of them.
You gotta have all the things.
I generally don't pull the trigger on it unless I know that buying the thing is either going to fix a problem that I'm super annoyed with that I can no longer stand to deal with, or if it solves a problem for me. So that's how I usually kind of justify buying something.
Chris Hope wants to know some good settings for the Phantom 4, and that's what you have as far as the drone. What kind of settings do you use for when you're shooting with that? And I'm assuming he means video.
I don't set it in auto, so
I'm guessing
manual mode is what I set it, and then the shutter speed I have set to 1/60th of a second, which follows the 180 rule. Then the ISO I have set to 100, I think is the lowest on that. And then what I do, depending on how much ambient light there's, how light it is outside where I'm filming, I will put a different level of ND filter on there. ND8, ND16, ND32. It really just kind of depends on how bright the scene is. Like if you're filming something out here in the desert, a lot of times I can easily use a ND32 because the sand reflects the sun so much that it's so bright that I really need to cut down a lot of light in order for me to continue to be able to film at 1/60th of a second of the shutter speed. So
cool. And speaking of video, I want to play this, and this is not drone video. This is awesome, and this is something that is in Arizona, and it's the plane graveyard. Tell us where this is, and then I'll play the video from this. This is just a great still by itself.
Yeah, there's a sort of abandoned airfield not too far away from me on the Indian reservation, and these planes just sit out there. People have vandalized them over the years and tried to burn them down, and I just went out there one night and photographed them. I was kindly told by some police officers that I really wasn't allowed to be there, but I did shoot that footage before I was asked to leave.
Okay, and you did a time-lapse, and this is using your Nikon?
This is using the D7000. So
okay.
That's how...
This is awesome. And those streaks going by, those are airplanes, right?
Yeah, in the sky.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot.
It's just a short little clip, but yeah, it's pretty neat.
Did you go in the planes? See, I'd be too tempted to go in the planes.
No, they are in horrible condition, and I feel like one good wind could easily destroy some of those plane carcasses over there.
Okay,
But those are all old DC-4s from World War II, so they've been sitting there since World War II.
All right, now I do have some Phantom 4 footage from you, the caves.
Oh, yeah.
Let's watch this. Is this far from where you live?
About an hour and a half.
Okay, and what is that little? What's that little hole in the mountain there? What's that?
Those holes in the mountains are just old, like, places where the native people tried to habitate.
So they're man-made?
Yes.
That is cool. Is that dusk or dawn?
That is just before sunset.
That was party. And you did that with your Phantom 4?
Yeah, I did it with my Phantom 4. That was about a year ago. It's kind of old footage, but I was just trying to scramble to find some things that I could just throw on here real quick without doing too much work. So I got lazy and sent you that from a year ago.
Okay. CPP, Minecraft, and more. What are some good ND 16 or 32 filters for the Phantom 3 standard? Have you ever used an ND32? I've never used an ND32. Have you ever done it?
Yeah, I use them all the time.
Really? I never have.
Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you want to use something that you wouldn't necessarily think to use just because you want to get a darker sort of effect or whatever. So you don't always have to follow the rules. You can play around and make it look the way you want it to. But the ND filters that I use are made by a company called Polar Pro. But I think there are many companies out there that probably make quality ND filters. And I'm not entirely sure, but I think the filters that go on the P3 standard and advanced are the same as fit on the P4. But I would go look up Polar Pro. They make reasonably good filters. That's what I have. That's the only thing that I can really speak to.
Yeah, I'm trying to find. I did that once for a bridge demolition, and I'm going to try to show that while I'm streaming.
Okay, well, while you're looking that up, somebody's asking what type of software I use for my time-lapse photography. So that kind of changes over time. Primarily what I use is Lightroom to organize all the photos in. And then I can transfer them over to Adobe After Effects to make the time-lapse out of them. And there's another program called LR Time-lapse, which is a little bit more advanced, and that also can help you stitch the images together into a rendered time-lapse. So that's kind of the standard software that I use just to put it together. And then once I put it together, I bring it into Premiere Pro and massage the data in there, massage the colors.
I wanted to ask you, on the D700, the Nikon D700, there's a setting that will actually make a video of the time-lapse for you.
Oh, the D7500.
D7500. The one I have now, yes.
Yeah.
So I wasn't able to get the individual pictures. Am I doing a wrong setting? When I did a time-lapse.
You're very naughty. Doing it wrong. You're fine to use that, but again, it ends up making some decisions for you that I prefer to make on my own. Not that it would look bad necessarily per se that way, but
right. I wanted the individual pictures.
Yeah. So.
But of course, I didn't listen to Linda.
Pictures, you didn't listen. I know.
I didn't listen. I very often.
It's okay. We can go over it again if you'd like, but
okay.
Yeah, you need to use the intervalometer that's in the camera menus, not the movie setting for the time-lapse stuff, which automates the process for you.
The into what?
Yes. Hello.
The into what? The into.
Stay awake, please.
All right, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and share this video of me using some. I used it. This is the demolition of the Egner's Ferry Bridge, and it was sunrise, and I used a ND16 filter on this, so it gave the sky kind of a purple effect.
Yeah, it looks very cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a good day. And just, you can't mention bridge demolition without actually showing the demolition, so I'm going to go ahead and show the demolition here if I can
Yeah,
find
that's a
out.
really cool part of the video. I always have liked that video of yours.
Thank you. All right, here we go. Here's the bridge demolition. And I was about 300 yards from the bridge.
I love it. I love it.
It done blowed up.
You know, if you ever get to witness a demolition like that in person, I would say jump at that opportunity because it's super cool.
It really was. It was such a great day.
Just to feel that sort of pound in your chest when that shockwave reaches you is pretty spectacular, I think.
Oh yeah, and the anticipation, because everybody knew they blasted a horn. Actually, they blasted a horn on the first charge was to scare the birds away. So that's that first boom, and I know you like birds, Linda. The first charge on the bridge was to scare all the birds away, and you can see them flying. Then, like 8 seconds later, they blew it because they don't want to blow up birdies. I mean, why would you want to blow up birdies?
That's like my favorite subject to shoot is birds. You just show them a picture of birds that I took back in like 2008. It is cringe-worthy.
Okay,
but you know, everything starts somewhere.
Okay, yeah, let's see some birdies, and then we'll get back to the question.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, here, let me bring up some birdies. Here's a birdie. Now
There's hope for everyone, people. There's hope for everyone.
Now, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Well, I don't know what time of day it is, but it's like high noon, which is not necessarily the best time.
For shadows.
Right. I mean, it's just bad all around.
So, of course, the thing you have to realize about Linda is she's never satisfied with any pictures that she takes ever. So that's something you have to know about Linda. Even if it's perfect, she'll never be satisfied.
That's not perfect.
Now that's pretty cool. What kind of bird?
That is, you know, I've always been fascinated with birds of prey. So osprey are one of my very favorite birds of prey, and I sat around this particular nest for many years until I finally got a photo that I thought was worth something out of it. But it took me years of sitting out there. So.
Does the sound effect?
That's a hawk.
Is that what they sound like?
No, that's a red-tailed hawk.
You know, I have my sound effect labeled hawk, so you're right.
Yeah.
Is that Woody? Is that a woodpecker?
Yeah, that is a Steller's Jay. That was in 2008. That's where I was with my bird photography then.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, what year was it when National Geographic took one of your pictures?
Late 2009.
Well, I think that's pretty good. Moving on.
You got to be out there all the time.
Look at that birdie.
So see, that's the osprey again. But what a huge difference between 2008 and this is 5 years later. So 5 years of sitting out there. That's 5 years worth of work right there.
And did that make the calendar?
Yeah, when I had a bird calendar, that made it. It also has won a few awards. I've done well with that picture. I've sold.
That's a good picture. And who's that guy with the little red yarmulke on?
Yeah, that's a Gila woodpecker. That I took in 2015, so things started getting a little better.
He's got a lot of chutzpah, that guy.
Yeah, he sure does.
And then this fella here. How do you get them to turn their head? Do you say, all right, I'm about to take a picture, turn your head that way?
You can say that, and then they will do the exact opposite. But the answer is you just have to wait and hope they do it.
Well, those were some pretty good bird pictures, Linda.
Again, it's a lot of progress over a lot of years of practicing, so I don't want people to get discouraged. And my photography isn't like super great, but you can see that there's an obvious big difference between where I started and where I am now. And that's possible for everyone. So.
Well, I have to ask you a question, Linda.
Okay.
Linda, what is the word?
Bird. Bird is the word.
Everybody's heard about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. Well, a bird is a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird. The bird's a word. Oh, well, a bird, bird, bird.
All right.
Okay.
Did I play too much? YouTube's going to flag that.
Nah, it's fine.
Don't care. Yeah, Family Guy. Yeah.
Family Guy. I love that show.
So, all right. Maybe it's time to tell everybody how to win the fabulous mini camera.
All right, here's what you guys gotta do. You have to go to my channel, which is CleverDarkElve. So go ahead and go there. Subscribe while you're there if you're not already subscribed.
Yes,
But
you have to be subscribed in order to win.
the way you win this camera is there's one video that I made where Ken has an incredibly tiny, short micro appearance at the very beginning of the video. If you can tell me which video has Ken's shadow in it, you can win that camera and go.
Is it just my shadow?
It's your shadow, and then your logo pops up for just a microsecond.
Well, okay.
How bad do you want it? Start digging.
Yeah.
Now, unlike Ken, I don't have 400 videos to go through, so you could probably get there at about the same rate that you would if you had to go through all Ken's
And
videos.
just to let you know, Craig, sorry, you're not eligible.
That poor guy. Has he won everything that you've had?
Yeah, well, there was 1 week where he won everything. Yeah, Craig, let somebody else win some. I mean, I don't know what you're doing. Some kind of evil spells.
It's wildflowers. It's not wildflowers.
Alexa, tell me a camera joke.
What do you call a camel with no hump? Humphrey.
Let me try again. Alexa, tell me a camera joke.
A man walks into a pet store and says, "I need a dog." The clerk says, "What kind of demeanor are you looking for?" The man responds, "I need a guard dog. Demeanor to better."
Did somebody win?
No, not yet.
No, nobody won. Okay, so Alexa, sing me a song.
A song? I thought you'd never ask.
Your circuits are fused, you're feeling confused. Why, oh why, oh why, oh why? But I'll be right here to lend you an ear. Hi, oh hi, oh hi, oh hi. You feel more than something.
Go.
Your heart quickly thumping. Sigh, oh sigh, oh sigh, oh sigh. It sounds like to me.
Alexa, stop.
Oh, it's got to be.
Oh my goodness, I thought it was never gonna end.
Alexa, that was horrible.
Oh, we got a winner.
Oh, we do. We
Sorry,
got a winner.
I don't know that one.
Who won?
Scuba won.
Scuba. Congratulations, Scuba.
W2 Airfield. That is correct. That is the answer.
Okay, now what I should have been doing is I should have been looking for that particular video. Let me go back to your channel.
Yeah.
And because I want to see my.
You want to see your appearance?
I do. I want to see my appearance.
It really is literally at the very beginning, like within the first second of the video.
Which one is it?
The abandoned airfield video.
I can't even find it.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I can't find it. How many videos do you have? Oh wait, there it is. There it is. Okay, I got it. Okay, hang on. Here we go. Oh, I see. All right. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Make it big so everybody can see.
You're already right there in the picture.
And that's it? That's all me?
Yeah. Yeah, that's you holding up my drone.
You know, we were there at the same time making videos, and you are featured heavily in my video. What's the story?
That is the heaviest feature of any human in any of my videos besides myself.
well, now, okay, that's just not fair.
Well, you know, to be honest, like my videos generally don't tend to have a lot of people and banter in it. So
That's true. So what is this place if people are curious? What are we seeing here?
That's an old abandoned airfield. I think they trained, what was it, the Mitchell bombers out there, the B-28s, I believe.
That's right. And when I was researching it, I found out that the commander hated this place so much, he hated Arizona so much that he burned it down.
Yeah.
He committed arson, and they put him away in jail. What's the military prison?
The Brig?
No, there's a big military prison. I can't remember.
Leavenworth?
That's it. They put him in Leavenworth.
Yeah. Not a fun place to be, I'm sure. But that's near Dateland, Arizona.
That's not a ringing endorsement for Arizona, though.
Jerry corrected me correctly. They're not B-28s or B-25s, but they are the Mitchell bombers. That I'm sure of.
Okay, cool.
So thanks, Jerry.
Let's go back and watch some more of it, unless we have any more questions.
I mean, there's probably some I can. If you want to look at some stuff, then I will go back and see if there's some cool stuff that we could talk about.
All right. By the way, there's 24,000 people watching right now. I just checked.
There is not.
Oh, yeah, I just checked the stats.
24,000.
24,000. Not really.
No.
All right. So what are we doing, Linda? What are we doing?
You said you wanted to maybe show some of the other clips that I had in there. If you want to see some examples of time lapse or whatever that you can.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and show the storm one. That's a good old gooder. Go ahead and get that ready there, and then do that, and then turn up the audio, and then click there, and then do that. This is one of my favorites of yours. Yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna play it again. Here we go. I'm gonna add something to it. It's better with the yeah boy. Now, how long did that take you? That amount of time lapse. How long were you there to get that? How many pictures per minute are there?
So it takes 30 photos to make 1 second of footage. So if you wanted a 10-second long clip, you'd need 300 photos.
Oh my goodness.
Taken at some interval. But that was a very interesting day. That was a day that I almost got hit by lightning. I got my car stuck in the middle of nowhere with no cell phone service and no water. It was just it was nuts. Sometimes I think the story around me going out and shooting some of these time lapses might even be more interesting than the time lapses, because some of it is such a show. Well,
I have to peel back the curtain a little bit and tell everybody how very hard Linda works at these time lapses. You do. You work very hard at these. You agonize over each individual frame, and you get it just perfect, just right. And
well, I appreciate the compliment.
That is the dedication, and it shows. I'm going to show another one here. This is the sunset.
Scott Polly wants to know what I use. I use the Go4 app. I don't use Lychee. And I also don't use circular polarizers when I'm flying my drone. The idea is nice, but only if you're flying in certain directions.
Yeah, I've never...
Because if you start moving that drone around, then that circular polarizer is going to start making weird colors happen in the sky, and it's just not really worth the hassle. Unless I have a very specific shot planned out, and I'm flying in a very specific direction, then I can use it. So.
And just really quickly, Chris Milby, about my real estate video.
Yeah.
He liked it. Thank you. I appreciate that. How do I decide how to shoot the home and location? Well, I haven't done this a lot. I'm trying to get into it. So far, so good. Linda's actually helping me quite a bit on the technical stuff. But as far as deciding what to shoot, I think that the biggest problem people will run into is deciding what to cut. It's got to be, and actually the video I made might be a little bit too long. I wanted to make it a little longer because my dad will be using that for other purposes, but it probably should be a little shorter. Real estate videos should always be around 2.5 minutes, but you want to try to tell a little bit of a story in there, have it, a beginning and an end. If you're going inside, if you're going room to room, make sure that your picture kind of lends itself to the next scene, the next video. Just kind of try to tie them together that way. So it's not all like, we're going upstairs, and okay, and we're down the basement, back up to the attic, and then out on the porch, that kind of thing.
Right, and that actually ties into a question that somebody was asking earlier, which is they wanted to know how this show is different than the live show that we have on Thursday night with Dana. And it's different because that's one of the things that we can focus on. We can focus on talking about how we want to tell our stories. We can focus on what settings we might want to use. We can focus on the camera gear, so it's more technically oriented. And you know, we're here to answer your specific questions and help you take better video and help you take better photos for yourself. So
right, and Linda's a lot better looking than Dana. I mean,
I don't know about that. I think some people are going to disagree with that.
Nah, come on. All right, now
he's a handsome fella.
Oh, ain't no doubt about that. He's a handsome fella. Now, let me go ahead and share this other time lapse of yours. This is fantastically wonderful, of course. Here's another one for you. Wow. Now, what span of time was that? How much time passed in that 30 seconds?
Probably about an hour and a half. Maybe more.
And what are you doing while the camera is going clickety-click?
I don't know. Sometimes I do a little jig, you know?
Yeah, to the beat of the click. Click, click.
Yeah. Well, you know, sometimes I make up songs to the shutter, so, you know, there's that.
Really?
Hey, listen, I spend a lot of time alone out there.
Okay.
Don't judge me.
All right, let's hear it. Go ahead and go.
I got nothing. We're not doing that. That's only live.
My name is Linda, and I'm making a time lapse. Take it.
I got nothing. I'm not doing it. I can't do it. The pressure is too much.
By the way, when I was doing my dad's house there, the real estate video, I wanted to include a time lapse in it, and I tried several times, but the problem that I was having was something, and I let one go for an hour and a half. And what was my problem, Linda?
I don't know, Ken. What was it? You had something set in auto and it didn't come out right?
There were no clouds.
Oh, yes. The dreaded no cloud skies. Yeah.
Right. There were no clouds. So the trees were doing this, and then the sky was just freaking blue. Yeah, that's it.
I have shots like that too.